The proposed strategy is looking to implement a new university to city centre walking and cycling path, as well as connecting outer areas to the town centre. Latrobe Bendigo students have long awaited a new walking and cycling route, along with the proposed networks that will link outer towns such as Huntly, Eaglehawk and Maiden Gully to the Bendigo CBD.
The Western Australian government has now allocated a share of $250,000 to 13 not-for-profit Aboriginal corporations to preserve and protect the registered sites across the state. Now, Greens Senator for Western Australia, Rachel Seward, said to the ABC that there is a bias in heritage laws and that there needs to be change moving ahead.
The Victorian government will spend $2.7 billion on upgrading schools, train stations and public housing. The government says the infrastructure spending will create thousands of jobs in the building sector. Premier Daniel Andrews says some of these projects will begin as early as next week.
Video games in Australia are more popular than ever due to the COVID-19 pandemic, with the Nintendo Switch console becoming a bestseller across the country. With doors being closed due to COVID-19, the Melbourne Museum has found a way to incorporate Animal Crossing's natural history simulator into its transition online. This is a conversation with American Public Radio producer, writer and host Starlee Kine. Starlee is currently covering the 2020 United States presidential election, co-hosting and producing the podcast Election Profit Makers. Starlee has produced and featured in multiple episodes of This American Life, beginning her career in radio in the late 90s before the big podcast boom of the 2010s.
It is a tragedy that an event such as this has occurred during National Reconciliation Week. 2020 marks 20 years of Australia striving to be a more equitable nation. However, the impact of the Rio Tinto blast will be a lasting impact, as the site can never be recovered once it has been destroyed.
That was our live reporter, Siri Smith.
The council in the next year will be allocating funding towards the strategy, and Bendigo residents can expect to be cycling safely into the future. Siri Smith in Bendigo, Newsline.